In a dramatic escalation of hostilities, Ukraine unleashed an intense, sustained assault over a single 24-hour period that has sent shockwaves across the occupied Crimea and stirred unrest and panic inside Russia itself. This is the latest chapter in a war that continues to push both sides to the brink, and it's increasingly clear that Ukraine is no longer just defending. It is striking deep, with precision, and with new confidence. Overnight, Ukrainian forces launched a barrage of drone and missile attacks targeting strategic Russian military and energy infrastructure across Crimea. Among the confirmed hits, a major oil terminal in Feodosia, Crimea, one of the peninsula's largest fuel storage facilities, critical for supplying Russian military operations. An ammunition depot used by Russia's 18th Combined Arms Army in occupied territory, although the full scale of damage is still being assessed. Simultaneous strikes elsewhere on Russian soil, including the Sverdlov ammunition plant in Nizhny Novgorod and a weapons facility, part of a coordinated multi-front pressure campaign. Moscow claims it intercepted 251 Ukrainian drones across 14 regions, including dozens over Crimea itself. But footage shared on social media clearly shows flames billowing from the Feodosia terminal, explosions, and smoke rising kilometers into the sky. This operation, analysts say, is among the most ambitious and penetrating to date. It signals that Kiev is now capable of reaching strategic targets deep behind Russian front lines, not just defending border sectors. The Kremlin has responded with typical defiance. Russian state media insist their air defenses held strong and that civilian infrastructure was spared. But cracks are showing. Local reports in Belgrade, across the border inside Russia, say tens of thousands lost power after energy facilities were hit. Russian authorities are facing growing alarm over their inability to fully prevent Ukrainian deep strikes. In Crimea itself, panic is seeping in. Residents report fear, confusion, and a sense that the occupation is no longer a guarantee of security. Among Russia's internal elite, whispers of discontent are growing louder. The idea that Crimea is invulnerable is crumbling, at least in perception. Why this attack matters. Strategic and symbolic impacts. 1. Disrupting the supply chain. By hitting fuel and ammunition depots, Ukraine is targeting Russia's logistics backbone. Without steady access to fuel, the efficiency and sustainability of Russian field operations erode. 2. Psychological warfare. Ukraine is sending a message. No place behind Russian lines is safe anymore. That message is reverberating not just in occupied Crimea but across Russian society and military ranks. 3. Demonstrating domestic defense production. President Zelensky has emphasized that all weapons used in these strikes are domestically produced, an assertion that underscores Ukraine's growing self-reliance in defense manufacturing. 4. Escalation and international signaling. This operation raises the stakes. It tests Russia's air defenses, its capacity to respond, and challenges the assumption that deep Russian territory is immune. It also sends a signal to international allies. Ukraine's counteroffensive is evolving. To understand why this moment feels pivotal, consider the broader context. Crimea has long been a symbolic and logistical keystone for Russia's war aims. Moscow invested heavily in fortifying it since the 2014 annexation. Kiev has struck the Kerch Bridge multiple times, most recently in June 2025, when underwater explosives damaged bridge supports, briefly severing the vital link between Russia and the peninsula. Partisan resistance and sabotage within occupied territories have also grown. Railway lines, supply nodes, and infrastructure have periodically been attacked by local networks and Ukrainian sympathizers. The 24-hour Blitz fits into a pattern. Ukraine is increasingly able to claw at Russia's control over Crimea, not with full-scale invasion yet, but through attrition, precision strikes, and pressure. Residents in Feodosia described sudden, intense explosions, bright bursts in the sky, sirens blaring, windows rattling. Many scrambled for cover. Some reported power flickering. Others spoke of disruption in communications. On social media, voices inside Russia expressed shock, disbelief that Ukrainian drones could penetrate so deeply. Some military bloggers and commentators began debating where Russia's air defenses failed and how sustainable Moscow's claims of dominance really are. On Kiev's side, commanders dismissed Russian interception claims as overblown and welcomed the significance of reaching strategic targets in occupied territory. They framed this not only as a military operation but a narrative, That occupation is fading. Are you starting to believe that Russia's vaunted impregnable Crimea might be a myth? Let that question sit with you. Because this moment challenges long-held assumptions about what's possible in modern warfare, and how vulnerable even safe zones can become. Every bold strike carries danger. Russia might respond with heavier bombardments or counterattacks targeting Ukrainian infrastructure, cities, or energy grids. Civilian casualties are always a risk when hitting munitions depots, fuel terminals, or nearby towns. Escalation could drag new actors deeper into the conflict, e.g. more advanced air defense systems, further military aid, or covert support. Ukraine must calibrate aggressiveness with restraint, especially if it hopes to maintain international backing and avoid broader conflagration. What to watch in the coming days? 1. Russian reaction. Will Moscow retaliate with massive missile strikes? Will they reassign air defense resources? 2. Damage reports. Independent confirmation of the full destruction inside Feodosia and the ammunition depot. 3. Logistics disruption. Will Russian supply lines to southern front sectors suffer, leading to operational setbacks? 4. Public sentiment in Russia. Will more Russians question the war, the cost, and the leadership's narrative of control? 5. Ukrainian follow-up. Will Kiev seize momentum, perhaps pushing small-scale incursions or further deep strikes? This 24-hour blitz is more than just a momentary escalation. It feels like a turning point. Ukraine is no longer confined to defensive tactics. It is probing, striking, and demonstrating that the war's geography is changing. For Russia, the myth of invulnerability is cracking. For Ukraine, the ability to hit deep inside occupied Crimea offers not just tactical gain, but symbolic traction, reclaiming the narrative, challenging forced assumptions, and reshaping the battlefield. Stay tuned as this drama unfolds. Each strike, each response, each signal will carry outsized importance. The battlefield is expanding, not only physically, but psychologically, strategically, and morally.